And we learned today Sunday's mass shooting in downtown Sacramento was gang-related. Former Police Chief Daniel Hahn joins us live now in the studio. And what did you witness when you were the chief when it came to gang violence?
Well, we definitely have our fair share of gang violence. I grew up in a neighborhood when some of the first street gangs started in Sacramento, and it's just grown and grown. It kind of points to there's something missing in society that these young people are looking for.
Now, do you think that the city has the adequate resources to combat this gang violence that we're seeing?
I would say this last weekend is an example that would be no. Part of the issue is we keep dividing ourselves instead of working together, and we have to address the long-term solutions to gangs. So police are important, it's a deterrent, they can hold people accountable, but we also need to get to it before people use a gun to settle their differences.
In your opinion, why do you think it is hard for people to get out of the gang life?
Well, the gangs operate on using people and intimidation. So, gangs traditionally have sold drugs. Now they've gotten a lot more into selling women, for example. Part of being in a gang is you're not supposed to want to get out. And so they're always worried about those sort of things.
And what are some of the conversations happening right now between gangs and the community police, for example? We know that it's a complicated issue. What are those conversations like?
Well, gangs thrive, especially in neighborhoods that are devoid of certain things: economic prosperity, great schools, a lot of hope. And so those are the neighborhoods that are breeding grounds for gangs. So not only do we need to hold people accountable and use the laws and enforcement for guns and violence, but we also need to work in the front end that they are starved out from new recruits into gangs, and that's poverty and education and those sort of things.
One of the big things that we've been talking about and we've heard from people in the community is that downtown Sacramento, a lot of people go down there on the weekends. Now that people know that this is in fact gang related, what's your message to people as Saturday and Sunday, the weekend rolls around? Should people be scared to go down there?
Well, I can completely understand why people would be after something like that, one of the worst shootings that's ever happened in town. But I'm sure they will see more police officers, more community organizations downtown. But those things aren't sustainable over a long period of time because they're taken from somewhere else. On one hand, I hope this is a wake-up call, because this sort of violence, maybe not to this magnitude in terms of the number of victims, but this sort of violence in terms of shootings and other violent acts are occurring regularly in some of our neighborhoods. So if this wakes us up to address that, then great.
Now, what do you think some of the resources are needed or would be needed to combat gun violence? Because we're seeing this prevalence in Sacramento. We've seen it in areas like Stockton. How are we going to combat this as a city?
We're actually seeing it across the country, and it's not the first time. I grew up during the crack epidemic, and crime was even higher then than it is now, but crime is on the rise. So, we even recently we talk about sole issue things like guns. Let's make more laws on guns. Well, these guns that have been recovered by the police department already were illegal already. They were already illegal guns, and they were still being utilized. And I think that is proof that we need a holistic approach. Not one thing is going to solve this. It's all of these together. We need enforcement. We need to hold these people accountable. But we also need to address why is somebody even using a gun in the first place because you're from a different neighborhood or whatever gang issue they had that caused this. And so we have to starve out the gangs by having people do productive things with their life instead of joining gangs. And that comes from poverty and all sorts of other things that breed a lack of hope.
One last question I have for you. We've seen this type of gun violence that obviously escalated to the situation that we saw early Sunday morning. How does it get to that point?
Well, this was in a crowded area, so anytime you're using, what looks like probably fully automatic weapons, those are very hard to control, and so bullets are flying everywhere in a very crowded area. So this can happen on any day in any city. And so we have to address this holistically, like I said, because just having more officers isn't going to prevent this everywhere. You can't have enough officers to be able to prevent it everywhere. You got to address it holistically.
Is it rare to see gang violence in such a crowded area?
Well, I think it's not that unusual to have violence downtown. We had a mass shooting last summer in Old Sacramento. Now we have this mass shooting. We had one out in the county a few weeks ago. So you're starting to see it tick up across the country, not just in Sacramento. And anytime gang activity is on the rise, hate crimes are on the rise, which both are on the rise right now, there's something missing in society. People are looking for something, and they're frustrated and no hope and all those sort of things. And so they resort to these very negative ways of dealing with it.
All right. Former Police Chief Daniel Hahn, thank you so much for your insight. We really appreciate your time.